Hello, everyone, and welcome to Author Hour's Storyteller Spotlight. I'm your host, Manon Doucet, and we're here to talk about all things writing, publishing, and, of course, storytelling. Tonight, I was supposed to be joined by my fantastic co-host, the one and only William Alan Webb, but, well, something unexpected happened. It seems I'm standing here alone. Poof. Just like that, my two co-hosts have disappeared into thin air. Maybe they got lost in a book? Maybe they're off battling dinosaurs in an alternate universe? Or maybe they're just fashionably late. William? Kevin? Are you out there? If anyone spots them, please send help. Well, while we wait for Mr. William to reappear, let's take a moment to appreciate his work. He's a talented author with an impressive lineup of books. So, even though he's MIA, at least his books are still here. And of course, let's not forget about our other missing in action guest, Kevin. Another fantastic writer, another incredible creative mind. I was so excited to have both of them here tonight, but it seems I'll have to keep the show going solo for now. And since I'm the only one who actually showed up on time, let's take a quick look at my own books. If you're new here, welcome. I write, I edit, I teach, and I love helping authors bring their stories to life. Since it looks like I've been left in charge, let's switch things up. Welcome to Other Hours Storyteller Spotlight, Rebooted. So while we wait, let's have some fun. If anyone here has a book cover they'd love to discuss or brainstorm, drop it in the chat. Normally, in the second half of our session, we work on book covers, but why wait? Let's get creative. If you'd like to see a book cover created live, here's what we need from you. Title of the book, author name, preferred image or visual concept, or a short description of the book to inspire the design. Send your details to us on Discord, Fireheart or Anderson Publisher, or email marieandersonpublisher@smail.com. We love brainstorming ideas, so don't be shy. And look who finally decided to join us. Everyone, welcome back our missing co-hosts. William, Kevin, you had us worried. What happened? Were you stuck in another dimension?
Bill,
So what's going on with all of our avatars?
everything is under the new management with Sudowrite to remove all our avatar and just leave just try to hide even the name during we're doing recording.
Who thought that was a good idea?
Good question, but I know a lot of people don't like it.
Oh, good grief, that's stupid. Sorry, I'm not being paid by them, so I'm going to give them my full-blown opinion. Okay,
All
well,
right.
anyway,
So,
sorry, it threw me when I got on here and I can't see y'all's avatars. I don't even.
so we have Zidicus, Wordspinner, Rick, James, Aim, BBF, you, and me. It's a small club, and I talked to a few students today, which told me that they had a hard time to see the classes. They could not see the one at 4 o'clock until I went in and target them myself to show them where they were. They didn't see our spotlight tonight either, so I'm not too sure what's happening with the registration this time around. I seen it the whole time, but some people could not find it, so I'm not sure why.
Well, I don't know. Now, I told Kevin the wrong time. It's my fault on that. So if he doesn't show up, blame me.
All right. So, do you want to tell us, because I did introduce your book that you sent me?
Yeah, sure. What is I can tell you.
Well, first of all, what can you tell us about the two first one you sent me? You're Standing Defiant on Foreign Shore.
Yeah. So pretty much everything I sent you, I think there may be one that's not, is part of my Last Brigade universe. And one of the things that I want everybody to think about now this doesn't apply to people like CC and others, you who have published your own books, but as we discussed the other day in another Sudowrite class, branding is everything. And so all the books in my Last Brigade universe have that same blue stripe with the red, white, blue eagle at the top. That's a logo that I paid somebody for a long, long time ago. And on the core books, they've all got that little white right there, yeah. Crosshairs with the last brigade and the number of the book in it. And they've always got a similar kind of look to them, because my readers expect a certain thing. They're reading the book for a certain purpose. And so from the very beginning, if you have nothing out, I heard someone mention they didn't have anything out yet. If you have nothing out, or if you've got a few or even a bunch, consider about keeping it where it's recognizable. Kevin Steverson, who would be a co-host if I'd given him the right time, he and I spent an hour today looking at a particular author, same one you and I looked at the other day, CC, where I pointed out that all the covers were almost identical in an 80-book series. And they all were exactly the same color. They all had one of 3 different boats on it. I did explore that enough. Yeah, exactly. That turquoisey aqua blue. And and the boat, although it was the same boat, there were 3 boats that were part of the covers. And it's like he just rotated them. But they were always a slightly different angle. They were never exactly the same, but they were the same boat. The very first part of the description was almost identical in every book. The first 3 lines were always variations on exactly the same thing. Now, you may think that at some point people get tired of that, but this is an 80-book series in which book 76 came out 3 weeks ago today and has nearly 800 ratings already. Meaning that book has already made the author probably what some people would consider a good year's wage. That new book. And there's another book coming out next week, and another one 4 weeks after that, and on and on and on.
Mm-hmm.
So while people are gobbling up book 76 in this series, and you can bet by now those people who are reading this and enjoy it are trained to expect it, that they're going to come out every so often. So these are all things that, no matter where you are in your career, you've got to think about these kind of things, because it's getting harder than ever to get attention in the marketplace and to keep that attention. We've already seen today, Amazon's been having lots and lots of quote unquote glitches lately. Today was followers, where one author who is a Sudowrite author, I won't say who it is, 10,000 of their followers on Amazon just suddenly vanished. And for those who don't know, a follower on Amazon, if you like follow an author, that means send me an email for every new book they have coming out. And this Sudowrite author lost 10,000 of those today. And I lost 2,000. Well, supposedly that's a glitch and they're going to restore them, but it's Amazon. You can't ever really tell. Which is why, yeah, John, I know what. So if you had, let's say you had 5,000, I actually had more, but let's just say 5,000 followers. I woke up today and I had 3,000. And I'm going, wait, what? So nobody knew if it was a purge. Nobody knew what's going on. No, I wrote them and they wrote back and said, no, it's a glitch. We're working on getting it restored. But it's Amazon. They can do whatever they want. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. And if it's not restored, well, that's 2,000 emails to people who have opted in
Mm-hmm.
to receive those emails that you don't get anymore. Then
Wow.
last week there was the drama of the KEN pages that they said some authors had been using bots and running up suspicious KENP numbers.
Oh no.
And so they deleted a lot of those numbers, but you're just taking their word for it. You know, there's no audit possible. They're very opaque about all of this. So, you know, and that follows on the heels of the lowest KENP rate in a long time for January.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, this goes to everybody's bottom line who has anything in the marketplace, whether it's, you know, makes a lot of money or not. Sorry, that was just on my mind.
That's all right. Well, with all that crazy news you just gave us, I don't want to put everything on the negative side, but I like to see how would you say an author or even yourself how to get over that, and whatever Amazon is doing, do you have your email saved somewhere?
So and of course this directly affects me. And so I'm in the same boat as everybody else. You know, I'm thinking about, okay, so do I react? How do I react? What do I do? That kind of thing. Before we get into any of that, I want everybody to understand that while this all sounds very, very confusing and there's a lot to it and et cetera, this is just part of being a writer in the modern world. And so it's just as necessary as anything else. You've got to figure out a way to build people to follow you. You've got to become separate from the herd. There's a lot of ways to do that, but that doesn't mean they're all good or good for you. Someone mentioned marketing, starting to think about it. And just remember, BB Face Gamer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, marketing. Well, marketing is a comprehensive look, everything. Marketing encompasses everything you do as a writer. It's a lot of people make the mistake of thinking it's how to run ads on Facebook or Amazon or whatever. That's advertising. Marketing is a much bigger topic, and it's too big for us to go into a whole lot right now. But you need to start, if you're not good at it, if it's not something that you're good at and you're, oh, I hate it and all, well, these are all things that you have to figure out for yourself. You can try and go the traditional route, which used to mean they would do all that for you, but those days are gone. Even if you did get a traditional publishing contract, they're not going to do that stuff for you. Not anymore, not unless you're one of the very, very top people. Even if you sign with a small press, they're still going to expect you to do your part in the
schema for
marketing aspect. So what you need to do is start educating yourself. BB, I understand you're just trying to get ahead, and I'm not trying to, you know, be discouraging or overwhelm you with stuff. But as the people who are in my personal classes know, I don't pull punches. You know, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. And this class is about how to do covers and how to advertise and market and all that. And the first thing you have to do is learn how to write. You have to have product before you can try and market it. But certainly it's all part of the same general picture. What can I answer for you specifically, Manon?
Well, for one thing, if you lost 2,000, 3,000, and in the case of the other person, 8,000 follower, basically email, I have, I think we all know CC. She's one of the one who told me about newsletter. So have your website, have a link for people to sign up to your newsletter and save those emails. So is there a way from Amazon itself, KDP, to
No,
have these emails saved somewhere?
no. Amazon is not going to tell you anything.
Hmm.
That's their property.
Yeah, those are Amazon's customers, not yours.
Yep. So,
Wow.
as you know, for me, it's particularly critical because one of the strategies I employ, we had a nice discussion about this the other day, because there's two schools of thoughts on if you're going to come out with a new book, how do you do it? Do you have a pre-order or do you not have a pre-order? And so if I do pre-orders, because if you do a pre-order, Amazon is going to send 2 emails to your followers. One of them is going to be, guess who has a book coming? I had one come out yesterday, and my publisher said I think it was 25 or 30 new pre-orders. It's an anthology, and so it's not going to be in the hundreds or anything because they're anthologies. They're not as popular. But I'll get another one when that comes out saying, guess whose book is now out? Whereas if you don't do that, if you only have the one that comes out when the book comes out, then all of those sales go in that would come with that go in on one day, which boosts you in the rankings. And that can get Amazon's algorithm to actually promote the book for you. And yes, you need an email list. Boy, I'm not going to argue with them about that. So you definitely do.
Yeah.
But Amazon is a completely different thing. And these are people who might not necessarily sign up to your email list. Because I put in every book I've got, please sign up to my email list and all that. And I'm sure there's some bleed over, but I'm just as sure that there's some that's not. Because the people like my books, but they don't want my newsletter. They just want to know when I have another book coming out. So it's really a case of you've got to hit all channels. And you've got to try and figure out the best way to not only attract customers, but keep them once you get them. So there's a whole lot that goes into it that, this is all just very surface stuff. The book that I recommended to Cece the other day and to everybody that was in that on that call, that I will also recommend all you guys is one called the One-Page Marketing Plan. I didn't write it. It's a really, really, really good book. It's not specific to books, but it's probably better because you're not having other authors say, filter through them. You're just having a marketing guy saying, this is this is the way it's been done. Yeah, that's it. And if you look at the ratings and all, it's over 10,000 ratings. And, I think it's a 4.7 or something like that. Anyway, it's very, very well received. And I've learned a lot from that book. And there's a lot of things in there that you listen to and you go, and you're going to have to adapt to how you would use that for you. But I heard something the other day and it had nothing to do with books. But as soon as I heard it, I went, hey, I know how I can use that. So, but it's an ongoing thing, go to conventions. Y'all, again, this is nothing new, but go to conventions and listen to other people who have done this successfully and how they've done it. Just today, a friend of mine who went to a convention down in Dallas called FinCon was telling both Kevin and I, well, he told Kevin and Kevin told me, but about a mutual friend who had a class on how they do it and how he had this person before they came to the con to give the class had to mail out 44 packages filled with books. because, and I think that's probably kind of a light day for them. Now, a lot of people are going to go, well, I don't want to haul all those books down to the post office and do that every day, which I don't either. But on the other hand, if there's 2 or 3 books in each one of those, and you don't want to be beholden to Amazon for everything, then some of this is just going to be necessary.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Okay. That's a learning curve on that, and yeah, the sad part with Amazon is losing things, and I lost myself a pre-sale because my manuscript wasn't in time. I wasn't a
oh,
editor was giving birth, and she didn't have the chance to put it up at the time. That was like, so I lost all those pre-sale, and no, they don't
oh, Manon, do you not know that did you not delay it for 30 days?
She was working on it, so she kind of, anyway, it's a whole story, and
Okay,
an
time
hour
out.
after I have redone everything and sent the thing, and I sent an email. I even called Amazon,
Okay,
and
time
yeah,
out, time out, time out.
yep,
Every book you have on pre-order, every one of them,
yep.
you have a 30-day optional extension period for the pre-order.
They didn't offer that. Where is that?
Yes, yes, they do.
Where is it?
Okay. When you go into KDP, hang on, I'm going to see if I can pull mine up, okay? This is every book. It's not a one-time book. This is every single book in your that you have on pre-order. So let me pull up one of my pre-orders. If I can get to them, I got a lot of stuff here.
I'm going to put you as if I can get to you. Hold on, with all those little screen closing down on us, it's hard to get our co-hosts and stuff. I'm going to put you co-host so you can. There we go.
Okay. So
Go ahead.
I'm trying to find the actual link. Y'all keep talking among yourselves. I'm pulling it up.
I'm trying to pull it up too. I'm signed out.
Pardon me?
I'm signed out of mine, but I am inside mine if you can figure out inside mine.
Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me look. I was looking on here, so let me look on yours.
Did you find it?
All
right,
I found it on mine, yes. Okay, that's okay. Go to your whichever one is on an active pre-order. Or
I don't have any pre-order right now.
Okay, I'm gonna do mine then. Let me share mine and I'll where was that? Okay.
It's all live, people.
What you can do, first I'm going to show you the notice that they've got in the in there.
Okay.
Let me just do my entire screen. Hang on. All right. Tell me when you can see it. See it?
Yep.
All right. So, do you see where I am? I am in the Kindle ebook pre-order in your KDP account, okay?
Yep.
Right here it says delay a release. Follow the instructions listed above to delay your release date. Note that if you need more time to finalize your file, you can delay your release date up to 30 days once without penalty. This one-time exclusion applies to your whole catalog, not just the postponed book. Okay? If you delay the release a second time on a given title, you won't be able to set up a new pre-order for 1 year or extend release dates for other existing pre-orders. Any update to your release date must be made before your submission deadline. Customers who pre-ordered the ebook will receive an email telling them you delayed the release. As always, maintaining, blah, blah, blah. So that's how you do it.
Okay, so how close to the deadline can you actually delay the pre-order?
5 minutes.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know that. Now I do.
5 minutes. I've actually done it that close before. The closest I've ever run on uploading a book was hang on a minute. I'm going to my bookshelf. Was about 20 minutes. But I'm trying to find one that's on pre-order. I can't find any pre-orders. Well, of course not. When you're looking for something, you can't find it.
Yeah.
But it's on the, I'll show you where it is though. If you go to your edit ebook details page, in the box, well, shoot. Sorry.
That's okay.
Like I said, I really wasn't prepared to do this. So I'm just kind of winging it really quick. Come on, pre-orders. There we go. That's a pre-order.
Your book.
Okay. So this is on pre-order. Okay.
Yep.
If I come down here, edit ebook details, it tells me I've got 70 days to do this. In fact, this one may get delayed. So when you're right here, set release date, if you do this, you see all this in here?
Yep.
It gives me the option of pushing it out. And if you'll notice, June 1st is the last day I can do it. It will let me push it. Anything after that, it won't let me do that. But I can do that once without penalty.
Okay.
Now I'm going to close this page so that it doesn't accidentally do something I don't want it to do.
Mr. Bill, may I?
Yes.
You can.
If you do it a second time and you get banned and you write them a letter with a valid enough excuse, there's a possibility they'll let you in.
It is possible, yes.
Yeah. I know someone who's done it not once, but she's done it twice. It was not me. But yeah, but I wouldn't risk it for the biscuit.
Right. I wouldn't either. I did have one where they came back and said, and I told them, I said, look, I think there was I was sick or something. And they said, listen, go ahead, if you have to, delay it a second time. We will do the cancel. However, write us and we will restore your privileges. So, there are things that can be done, but it's like Cece said, you really don't want to, depend on Amazon to be nice about it.
No. Because on top of having lost those presale and all that, they told me that I was not allowed for a year to add any more books in presale.
Right. You can't do it for a year. You lose your privilege.
I
Yeah,
did. I sent them a letters, like CC said, explaining what happened, and I was restored like inside 5 minutes.
Yep. Yeah, so, they will work with you a lot. But I had one of my publishers who's published more than, if we're counting translations, more than probably 3,000 books. And I told him about this. He goes, no, it doesn't work that way. I said, yeah, it does. And he went and he looked and he went, well, damn, I didn't know that. This is one reason why I usually have what I call an emergency file that I upload that's mostly finished, but maybe not quite. But that's risky too, because twice I've done that. Twice I've uploaded the correct file, the corrected one, everything was perfect, but that's not the file they used. They used the first one that wasn't correct. So, this stuff's out there now, but it's all just part of learning how to work within in the environment we're in right now.
When you said they used the one that wasn't correct, are you talking about for printing books?
Yeah, that's the one they released to the public. So I had people going, man, this is wrong, and you misspelled this, and blah, 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 and the editing should have been better. And
on the printed book.
It was, but they uploaded the wrong file. But that book, that the last one it happened with, it still got a 4.6 overall. And I wasn't penalized because the book was released on time. They
Mhm.
released the wrong file, and they did it twice in a row, but I didn't get penalized. And in the long run, I had some people going, "Man, what is your standards are slipping?" And I'm going, "No, not really, but I get why you would think that." But also, if you're going to use Amazon to do your books, you also have to understand that if you do print books through them, they're not always going to get that right. Even though I may upload a PNG for or a PDF for a cover, I have books right now sitting on my shelf that where the title on the spine is misspelled, even though it was spelled correctly in what I uploaded.
Mhm. I had that problem too.
How that happens, I have no idea, but
I have a ton of questions for you right now, and
uh,
probably other people on this call.
uh,
I got a few students asking me the question today and in the last couple of days. When you do a pre-sale on Amazon, is it important to have, if the person only have the manuscript and no cover, would you just put a pre-sale with this little square of the book cover empty, just the title, and how would you go about it?
well, and I'll tell you somebody else who might be a good opinion to hear on this is Cece. But my opinion on this is I wouldn't do that. I keep a stable of iffy, like emergency covers around
Mm-hmm.
that I can slap a title on and get it up there. Even if it's not the cover that I'm going to have eventually, I would rather have something. But that doesn't mean everybody does. Really popular series, you'll see cover coming later.
Or even just a logo of that series until the book is totally
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Mm.
Uh, I personally don't do that, but I had a cover today that I loved. I had created for another book coming out in April until I realized that the image was from a story that's coming out in a different book. And I'm
Mm.
like, crap, because this really looked good. So then I had to come back and make another cover. And the reason I'm in a hurry doing that is I've got to send my publisher the manuscript for the book that's coming out on pre-order, coming out February 28th. And I want to have a link in the back of it to the book that's coming out in April. So to do that, I want to have a cover and a description and all that so she can get it up and we have it on Amazon on pre-order and I can put a link in the back of this one.
Mhm.
Because in my opinion, you should always have a link to the next book in the back of your book.
Yeah,
And that's another reason I do pre-orders. But so I had to come up with something when I realized what I'd done and thought, damn, that is a great looking cover, but it won't work. Then I had to come up and make another cover quick. Whether or not that's going to be the cover I go with or keep or anything like that, maybe. But, changing the cover is easy.
that's true.
And, this one at the very least is going, and I was going to show it to the class, but, at the very least, it's a cover that represents the spirit of the book, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. More
Even if it's
question for you.
not a particular scene or anything.
Yeah, got more question for you.
Yeah.
John is asking there, is it okay? And that's not the first time I got that question, and I know some authors doing that. What's your opinion on that? They put chapter by chapter on Amazon. They don't put the full book in one shot.
Well, of course, they're shutting down Kindle Vella. And
Mm-hmm.
so they're not going to have any way of doing serialized stories. What I have done before is I had a book that was not ready, and I'd already delayed it once and through an unfortunate series of events. Um, it was not ready after I delayed it. It was about 2/3 done. So what I did was I went in and I reduced the price because you can reduce the price of a pre-order. You just can't jack it up once anybody's ordered.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I reduced the price, marked it as part 1, then put a note at the very beginning saying, hey guys, sorry this happened, I have reduced the price by $1 and I am going to put part 2 up for 99 cents so that, this isn't a money grab. This is just an unfortunate thing, but it's going to be following very shortly. And for the most part, everybody was fine. The reviews are fine. I combined the books for the print because print doesn't have pre-order, so you can kind of put it up anytime you want.
If there's no pre-order, so that means it's ready to go right away as soon as you put it up.
Yeah, well, it can be, yes. I generally will do that so I can go ahead and order author copies. You can order them without making it live, but I just go ahead and make it live. I'm not worried about. There are series out there where when that happens, it can. There are people who know that 4 days before the book goes out, the paperback is going to go live, even though nobody tells them that. They figured it out over time, so they buy the paperback ahead of time. I see M's asking about Royal Road and then Amazon. You can, yes. Just remember that for me, if I'm going to do Amazon, I'm going to do Kindle Unlimited because that's where 70% of my income comes from. Others are not. They're going to go wide, and that's a strategy that's just as valid as anything else. But
you want to explain that part? Why it's the unlimited and for how long is the best?
Well, so Kindle Unlimited is a subscription service where for those who don't know, you pay, I think it's up to $16 a month, something like that. Maybe not. Maybe it's less. But anyway, and you get to read as many Kindle Unlimited books as you want. The money from all those subscriptions goes into a pot every month. I think it's up to neighborhood of 55 million a month, something like that. That all the authors that are in Kindle Unlimited split. And the money is divided according to what they call a Kindle edition normalized page. In other words, every time somebody clicks their Kindle to go to the next page, or app on their phone or whatever it is, then you get paid. They don't tell you what the rate is, of course, until the following month, so you don't know how much money you're making. By and large, it's 4/10 of a penny per or anywhere between 4/10 and 4.5 of a cent. So 2.5 pages would equal a penny. But it fluctuates, and it doesn't sound like much, but like I think it was November, the rate was something like 0.0046, which was great. But in January, it was 0.0040, which was terrible. And for me, that made about a $200 difference in how much money I made last month. Might have been even more than that, but if you have 1 million page reads in a month, for example, that would make a difference of 6,000. So if you had 1 million, it would be $4,000 at 0.0040 and 4,600 at 0.0046. So 1 million page reads, it would make a $600 difference.
Wow.
And you may think that there aren't people out there getting 1 million, but I've done it I've done it a number of times, a lot of times. CC probably has too. I'm sure there's others on here who do it on a routine basis.
Right.
So the KENP rate really does make a big difference on how we get paid.
But during that time, you cannot go wide.
No, you have to be exclusive to Amazon. Now that renews every 90 days. So that if you want to go wide, if you want to list it on Apple iBooks and Kobo and Smashwords and whatever else is out there, Google, you let it run out on Kindle Unlimited. Don't renew. Have it wide for as long as you want, and then you can put it back into Kindle Unlimited whenever you want.
Well, explain that again. So you mean we can go wide? How long do you wait after you put it wide if you want to put it back on Kindle Unlimited?
There is no, that's just up to you.
Really?
Yeah.
So all my books which I remove from Kindle Unlimited, I can now put them back on Kindle Unlimited?
Yes, they just can't be listed anywhere else.
But they are listed because they've been published through Apple,
Well,
Google.
then you would have to pull those down.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
Well, okay. But I'm just saying you would have to pull those down. You have to be exclusive to Amazon to have Kindle Unlimited.
Okay, so that's another learning curve. It's a good thing for advertising when you put a book out, and that's for fiction and things like that. For nonfiction, probably not as good.
Well, I'm experimenting now because, as you know, I write military history as well. I write hardcore World War II history.
Yeah.
And so my books are in Kindle Unlimited right now, whereas the first one, which was traditionally published by the largest military history publisher in the world, and by the way, that was a terrible experience. Yes, Em, you can have it on Amazon. You can always have your book on Amazon. It's just Kindle Unlimited. They can buy it on Amazon. Kindle Unlimited is where it works through the subscription service.
Yeah.
And so they can read it for free if it's in Kindle Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, what I was saying is I was published through the traditional publisher, and it was a terrible experience. I only got paid for 2023 about a week ago, not 2024. I'll get paid for that sometime in 2026.
Wow.
And I had asked for an audited accounting 2 years ago. And only when I told them I was taking my rights back because they violated the contract did I get one. So it has never been in Kindle Unlimited before. And I put it there, and, most people aren't buying it, reading it that way because they're not used to. It's not a genre that a lot of people read in Kindle Unlimited.
Mm-hmm.
So I probably will pull it out after a while and go wide with it. But that's, for me, going to be a new experience because I've tried wide before and it just didn't work.
Okay.
Whichever one you're going to do, you're making a commitment to do that and to learn how to best it. And if you're going to make a change, you have to plan for that change. It's not something I would recommend you just do willy-nilly.
Yeah.
CC, do you have anything to add to that?
Sorry, Mr. Bell, I had a problem finding my my mute button.
Well, I'll put you on the spot too.
Yeah, I just couldn't find my mute button. So the only thing that I would add to that, because you're spot on everything you said, is if you decide that you are, say you're Kindle Unlimited, which is also KDP Select, that's what they call it on the back end, right? At the front facing end is Kindle Unlimited. That's what the customers see. So say you are in that select program and you decide that you want to get out and you put yourself wide, meaning on all the retailers or any or all, either way, whatever way you want to go. And then you decide you want to go back to Kindle Unlimited. You can't do that until you're pulled down completely from all those other retailers. So even though you unpublish, it might take up to 30 days for them to pull you down. Why do I tell you this? Because if you put your book up on Kindle Unlimited at that point in time and you're still live somewhere else, and Amazon has these crawlers that go through the web looking, because that's what they do, and they find it, you're right then in violation of your terms of service or terms and conditions, whatever they want to call it at that point in time. And you can lose your account. You can risk your account, let's say, and you don't want to risk your account. So did that cover it, Mr. Bill, you think?
It did. I mean, and frankly, I hadn't thought of that because, I haven't been wide, but you're absolutely right. You do not, even if you're wide, you do not want to lose your Amazon account.
That's true.
I saw a guy who I was trying to find his books, and he's got it. This shows you the kind of market we're in now. This guy is on YouTube, and he's got 345,000 subscribers, which is a lot. And he bills himself as being like this industry insider guy. But he's got 4 books out. The covers are awful. They're not all part of the same series, and he's not on Amazon. The only place he sells his books is through his website, but he on Twitter he said, "So I finally got off my butt and I'm querying again." Like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, but he's got 345,000 subscribers on YouTube, so he's making quite a bit of money on YouTube. It's just, but he doesn't know what he's doing. So you really gotta, this is kind of a cautionary statement of be very careful who it is you're listening to, because there are people out there who definitely know what they're talking about, and then there's people out there who pretend they do, but they don't have a clue.
Yeah. Now, talking again about KDP and publishing, because we're talking about publishing here and the marketing and all that. So I used to go and just do all my Kindle's ebook, and then after that I went down and started doing my paper book. How would you tell the new people who want to start publishing their book? Should they go like the ebook, paperback, hardcover, and then go to the Audible also in one shot? What's your take on that? And CC, you can pledge in too.
Yeah, I'll start, and then I'll let Cece follow in, because she's probably gonna have more to say on this than me. I'm gonna do ebook is always going to be first, because that's where I'm going to make the most money. Paperback's going to be second. With hardback, I don't really worry too much about it, because I'm going to start trying. It's one of my goals this year is to get into jacketed hardcovers through maybe Book Vault, or I don't want to do Ingram. I've done Ingram before, and for me, they're just, although they produce a really fine book, it's a lot of hassle for me, but that's just me. But anyway, you can do hardbacks through Amazon, but they're what are called case bound, so they don't have a jacket. The illustrations are on the cover itself. You also can't do any kind of decorated boards inside, or they're not really set up for it the way some are. And one thing to remember is that they do inkjet. So if you're going to do something that depends on really, really, really nice interiors, Amazon's probably not going to be your first choice, just because their printers, their print-on-demand machines, aren't as high quality, in that they look great most of the time, but they're not going to do a laser jet quality illustration. Let me put it that way, if you need it. Then my third would be, before doing a hardcover, I would do the audiobook. For me, that would come first. That has far more potential for making money than probably even the paperback. But the paperback's, generally speaking, fairly easy once you've done it a few times. And the audio, you're then going to have to get into, am I going to be Audible exclusive? It's a whole nother thing in itself. Are you going to be Audible exclusive? Because Audible pay rates are terrible, but they're the biggest in the industry. If you go through Audible and you're exclusive to Audible, the royalty rate is 40%. They keep 60%. And no, they don't pay any of your costs for you. If you do royalty share, if you can find someone who will actually do royalty share, that means you're going to get 20 and they're going to get 20, but they're going to produce the book for you. So it doesn't cost you anything. And you're going to find a lot of people out there who will do it because they're all starving, and there's so many of them who are trying to do audiobooks. Or you can do not be exclusive to Amazon, and their royalty rate is 25%. You can then go to other places such as Spotify or oh gosh, there's a huge list of places you can go audio otherwise. And you have to decide, will they take AI? Am I going to use AI to do it? Again, this goes down to who's doing the production. Actually, that's not true. Audible will take AI.
Their AI.
They'll take their AI. They will also take outside AI. What they won't take is like 11 Labs, who's one of the bigger AI companies. They have different tiers and different production values. 11 Labs will, if you're going to do one that you're going to go wide with, then you can do a really, really high quality one at the middle level. But if you go up to the top level, which is pretty expensive, their bit rate per second is so high that it actually will qualify for Audible. They don't tell anybody that, but it will. So then you get into all kinds of things like, are you going to clone your own voice? Are you going to, use one of their voices? Are you going to design your own voice on Audible? There are a great number now of audio narrators who are on Audible who are selling their voice to places like 11 Labs. So that every time you use their voice, it doesn't say their voice, doesn't use their name, but they get paid. Also, Audible is using their own ACX. That's the company. We think of it as Audible, but ACX is actually the company. ACX is allowing their top narrators to clone their own voices through ACX using their AI and use that to produce books with. So Audible and ACX, they're already doing AI that's theirs, and they're allowing their top narrators to clone their voices to do it. So it won't be long until you'll be able to hire one of them, quote unquote, hire one of them. And then what they'll do is they'll probably use their voice to do it, and they'll have somebody to do the production for you, but maybe they can do it at a lower price. And so that's kind of why being AI friendly in a class like this means that you're going to be far less likely to, you're not going to be offended by what's coming up. We also, Kevin finally joined since I told him the wrong time, just in case you have any questions for him.
Stacey, did you want to add to
Let me ask Mr. Bill a question. Bill, did you want to talk about virtual voice, or do you want me to cover it?
Well, you can cover it.
Okay. So virtual voice is what Amazon has a beta program right now, and that's called virtual voice. What they do, it's just their AI, and it's by invitation only. You can try to email them if you want to get in, for those of you that might be published. So virtual voice, you get in, you determine the price point, you use their AI, it doesn't cost you anything. It also gets your book on ACX. The rates are really low. They limit you on what you can price on it, and they're really low on what they pay you for it. And if the person already has the book, they're only going to pay you 80 cents for that audiobook. Now, having said that, it didn't cost you anything to produce it. So what do you got to lose? I put all of my books in virtual voice. I also use, but let me go back to the start. I do what Mr. Bill said. Ebook. I don't do print because I don't go to conferences. I don't do print second. For most, I never do hardcover. I'll do print on most books. I do it second, but I don't go to cons, and my sales are therefore super low on print because I sell a hell of a lot of ebooks. I only do audio through ACX, when I think that the book is selling, the series is selling well enough to make it worth it. When I go to ACX, I do not go exclusive. I go non-exclusive. Why do I do that? Because I also put my books up on Findaway, which is how I get onto Spotify and a whole slew of maybe 40 different distributors. What do I like about having it on Findaway? Findaway has a relationship with BookBub. And you guys, if you don't know BookBub, get a link, go find it, research it. It's a huge advertising place. So they have a relationship with BookBub, like I was saying, which has Chirp. Just like a bird chirps, it's Chirp. And Chirp sells discounted audiobooks through their channel, but they're books that are on Findaway. So what happens is you apply just like you would for a BookBub to get a Chirp feature. You get featured, and you don't even have to knock your price down. They do it for you. You tell them what your price point is going to be. They go into the system, they put it in there. You don't pay for it up front. They take a percentage of the royalties that are made, which is sweet because if their system doesn't work, it doesn't cost me much. So that's why I don't go exclusive to ACX, is for that reason. I don't do royalty share. I pay my narrators outright because I don't want them to be dipping into my my pocket for the next 7 years, because I think that's what royalty share is.
Yes, that's the contract. Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I don't want them dipping in my pocket. I want all the money from that. BookBub. You see the way it's spelled right there, gamer, on the screen? I want you to Google that, and you're going to see what BookBub is, because I don't want to take up Mr. Bill's time by going through that.
Well, the other thing I want to mention is there's other companies out there like Podium that can take over all the production of your audiobooks and stuff. But
Yeah.
I think the big picture is that in the order of what is important with your book is as far as like, because Manon asked, which one, the order in which you would do things is ebook, obviously first, and then paperback. And for me, that's just because the paperback only takes about an extra 2 hours of formatting. And I've already got it up and all that, so I just can do it pretty quickly. But I've also done it 50 times or 100 times, whatever it is. And then audio. Now, audio, remember, you're going to need a clean copy of what it is you're doing for whoever's doing it. You're not going to need the copyright in there and all that, especially if you're going to be using AI. If you're going to use AI, you don't want to have any kind of illustrations or anything like that. You're not going to need a copyright page. You're not going to need a whole bunch of that kind of stuff. So you strip it out, and then you've got a clean, just nothing but narration, almost like a script that you can use.
Mm-hmm. Cool. I cannot find that voice program that CC is talking
You
about.
talking about Findaway Voice or virtual voice?
I tried virtual voice and it didn't pop up, so it's probably a different way to search for it. CC, do you have a link that we can?
No, I don't. It's a beta. It's in beta right now for Amazon, and it's by invitation only. I think
Okay.
it's been there for a year. I don't even know how you would find it.
And I think I
here.
found.
Yeah, it just on mine, it just on the bookshelf, it just says your this book. I'll read to you exactly what it says. Let me find one. So here's one. Your book isn't eligible because it's already out as one. Your book is eligible for an audiobook. This is right next to one of mine. And it's a short story. I might actually do it. And then if I mean, I'll show it to you what it looks like really quick. And just to remind everybody, I'm the one who told, somebody's sharing. There it is.
I will stop sharing. That's what I found on Reddit about that.
Yeah, go ahead and let me just really quick show you where it is. It is not Kevin's fault that he's late. I told him 7 his time, and it was actually 6 his time. So
Hi, Kevin.
Hi,
Okay.
everyone. It's Bill's fault.
it is my fault, yes. Okay, can you see this?
Yes.
Add audiobook with virtual voice. Your book is eligible for an audiobook. And then this, what is it? It's a computer-generated narration for audiobooks. That's where it is. If your book is eligible, that's where it will be, and that's what it will look like. Now, having said that, I actually have one. I did this because I'm a big believer in doing it just to do it, because that's how you learn if they're any good and stuff. And when I did it with a short story about a year ago, it was not good. I mean, it was like AI 3 years ago. So maybe it's gotten better since then, but you had very few voices to choose from, and they were all really metallic sounding, machine sounding. I may do another one just for the heck of it, because you can always unpublish it. The only upside to this I see is that Amazon is letting us set the price, whereas when you go through them with ACX, they set the price on your audio.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Anything else to add? CC?
It makes roughly 5% of my Amazon money on that virtual voice for me, so it's worth it.
Yeah, for you.
So you do use virtual voice.
I do. And 5% of my Amazon income is virtual voice, according to Amazon.
Okay. So has it gotten better? Am I just out of touch? Am I out of date?
No, it's gotten better. And the reason I say that is because they sent out an email saying, hey, we've improved it. And then for every book that I have in there, and I have a lot, they
Okay.
have sent me an email for each one saying it's been republished. So my email on my phone has been driving me nuts because I'm getting hundreds of these emails saying your book is now published through virtual voice, again, which it already was. But so yes.
Now, when you do the virtual voice, though, that's exclusive with Amazon, right?
Well, the book is already Kindle Unlimited or not, and it's might just be a book that is wide on other retailers, but I use the virtual voice on Amazon for
What I'm saying is, if you use virtual voice, can you then take that audiobook elsewhere?
No, you can't. But
Okay.
but if you are wide and you use that and you want to take it elsewhere, say for instance, if your book is not in Kindle Unlimited,
Mhm.
you can go to Google and use their auto, because they have an auto narration, and you can use that. And using that, you can get on to Findaway. So Findaway takes AI, but only AI from Google Play.
Okay, so in other words, you're getting around the system because it's not the same audiobook.
Exactly. It's not the same. It's the same words, right? But it's not the same audiobook at all.
Okay, so it's not gaming the system, it's working the system.
Right. It's two different platforms that make two different copies of this, and actually two different formats, because as I know, ACX / Audible is MP4s, I believe. MP3s, MP whatever. And what Google does is an LPF that you have to take over to Findaway, LFP or LPF. It's a whole different type of.
I'm going to duck out for a minute. If y'all are still on, I'll be back in just a minute.
Oh, okay. Well, Manon, you're going to tell the class, and so is Kevin, because I'm going to be quiet right now.
It sounds like when you do that through the other format, it's basically another publication, and so Amazon can't complain about that because it's not the publication they did for you.
Right. Well, see, if you're in Kindle Unlimited,
Mhm.
Of course, the only thing that applies to, as we know, right, is ebooks.
Right,
It
digital
doesn't apply
copy,
to
yeah.
audio.
Right.
So I will do audio through that or through just my narrator, because I have a very well, for me, an outstanding narrator who's real reasonable, and I will take that and I'll drop it into Findaway, which gets it on all the other retailers as well, including Spotify, where then I advertise on Chirp. And I mean, if it makes me an extra $600 a month, it's
Yeah.
worth it. And
Yeah.
so,
So we can take something I've got on KDP and make an audio version of it and put it wide.
yes, if you don't sign up for ACX's exclusive, you have
Right.
to click for non-exclusive, which changes your percentage from 40% to 20%. But I compared the numbers and I have been very happy with my decision to go to Findaway, which gets it on Spotify. The other thing I use, just me personally, I use YouTube, where I put my audiobooks for free on YouTube, but hey, I get paid for the listens. Just
Yeah,
like
once you monetize, definitely.
exactly. Once
You've
you're
got
on
enough followers to monetize.
1,000,
Yeah,
Is it
1,000
only
followers,
1,000?
4,000 watch hours in the last 6 months is the way it works.
yeah,
Oh,
and the
okay.
watch hours are easy to get. It's a little bit longer for the subscribers, right? But don't put my thing is I don't put all my stuff up there until I have my subscribers. And you know what? If they got to wait a year, or if they got to wait 6 months or 2 months or whatever, because I have a lot of pen names, whatever it is, they're going to wait it out, because I'm not putting I'll put, if I have a catalog of 40 books, I might put 6. And
Okay.
then
And then
whatever.
wait till you got subscribers.
Yeah. What about you, Kevin?
Yeah, I haven't done that. I've got some short stories and some things I'm gonna do on my channel. I've got the channel up now, and I haven't put anything on there, but I want to do that because once you're monetized, once you have 1,000 subscribers and that kind of thing, I literally can go on the Facebook page and run, let's say $10 a day for 5 days that says, hey, come to YouTube and listen to a story free.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
all the people that see that, you show it to 10,000 people, whatever the numbers are that see that, they don't have to buy anything. What? I do YouTube all the time anyway. Let me just click, listen to your story, and now you're getting paid because you're monetized over there.
Yes.
So that ad on Facebook really, really will work because
Yes.
you're giving them something free.
Yeah, and if it gets you an extra 1,000 or 2 a month, well, hey, you know
Yeah.
what? That's just bonus money.
Right.
And I don't worry, and you haven't asked about this, but I'm going to tell you that personally, I don't worry, because the crossover between the people who actually purchase is going to be very different from the people who actually listen for free on
Right.
YouTube.
Two different groups of people, just like, and I'm a science fiction writer, just like in science fiction, there's two groups of people. There's the people that read everything they can get their hands on, and there's the people that can tell you line by line all the Star Trek shows and TVs and movies, but they never read.
Exactly.
And they're both science fiction fans.
Yeah.
It's just which one are we looking for?
Yeah.
That's just like when you run a Facebook ad, you got to narrow it all the way down to must like, Amazon Kindle. Otherwise, you'll get the couch potato that only watches the movies. That doesn't do me any good.
Nope. And you just wasted your money.
Yes. So, but a while ago, there was a question on the KDP. The KDP, the digital, is what you're exclusive for. You don't have to put your paperback exclusive. It can be wide, and just the KDP is
That's right.
exclusive to Amazon.
That's
So the
100%
same thing with Audible. You can take the Audible wide, just like you can do it on your YouTube channel, those kind of things. So
What was the ACX aspect? Is that KDP? What is
the
that?
ACX is the Audible, is what Amazon's Audible is. That's what they use.
Okay. So if you don't sign up for ACX,
you can use, I guess you can use ACX. You just don't, you don't make it exclusive. It's a different percentage if you're not exclusive in your Audible book.
Got it.
Yeah.
And think of it this way. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I have a question about ACX, because when you log in on ACX, you can log in as a publisher or an author. What's your take on that? If you want a new person who goes on ACX and says, I want to get my books and all that, what would you tell them about that?
Kevin?
I haven't, I've only been looking at it cursory. I hadn't really dug deep into it. My publisher did, and in the beginning, and it's a small press publisher, so I was involved with a lot of that. And now that I'm starting to publish more on my own, so I haven't dug into the ACX. I am probably going to do a lot of the reading myself. I'm some of you may know I have 10 songs that have been published out of Nashville. And so I have a pretty good sound system here at the house. I got a good speaker system, good setup. And so I could actually do my own audibles I just have to find the time to read my own work. Which, if you can do that, it's great because you know where the pause is, you know where the inflection goes. Um, it's just it's not for everybody to do that, but I will be doing some of that myself.
Well, you got the setup and the voice, so why wouldn't you, right?
Right. I mean, I don't know if I have the voice, but it's
It
people tell
works.
me.
It works. It's clear and it's good. I mean, that's what you want from a narrator, right?
Right. And with that voice, I can do a lot of voices. Because if I need to be an old guy that's doing a little
Oh,
noir,
Kevin, do a woman. Do a woman. I want to hear it.
what? There's no way I can't do a woman. That's it. You have to be a woman to do a woman.
Yeah, so that's awesome. Yeah, you definitely need to do your own audio.
Right. And if you want a different accent, it just depends on where you're from down under, right?
Oh, that's cool. Can you do like a Highland?
And would you be pissing me off, lad?
Oh yeah, man, you could make
Yes.
some serious money as a Highland narrator, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. All
Yeah.
right. So
Okay.
that thing to I'm going to have to go back and listen my own video right now about all those ACX and all those 11 lab and the other one that CC talked about, and also I'm looking at my KDP account. It says, where do I see this? So I think I just realized my ACX is not even linked to my KDP
It
account.
it won't be. Okay, that's a different. It's not, because you got to go to I think it's acx.com. So here's the way to think about it. And John, this goes back to your question. So KDP is to Amazon, right? What ACX is to Audible. Does that make sense? So ACX is the back-end platform that we see. Audible is a front facing that the customer sees. Same thing with KDP, right? KDP is what we see. Amazon is what the customer sees. It's the
Okay.
same exact
So
principle, right?
why is it that in the KDP that William showed us earlier, he says your book is eligible for Audible?
They
Or
they they select some for their beta. His
Exactly.
short story that he sold has sold really well, so therefore they decided, okay, this one will sell some audibles.
okay,
But everybody's short story or everybody's novel doesn't get that offer
Yeah,
right off the rip.
okay, that's good
true.
to know.
It's true. But if you can get it, and for me, it'll make up around an average of 5% of my total monthly income from Amazon alone, which is not a bad deal for me. It just added to it. It didn't subtract from it because I didn't have those books in audio already. These were
Right.
books that I didn't have in audio, right? So,
But even though it's in beta, the good thing about it is and they're improving it, just like she
yeah,
says, it's being improved as it goes. Once they get it where they like it, then it's going to be out there for everyone. So
yes,
yeah, so it's coming.
yeah. And the crazy thing, are you in it? Have you noticed that they don't ask for any feedback at all?
Yeah, it's kind of strange. People
I
I've talked
know.
to that are in it haven't,
I know.
but what feedback can you give? They can see how many you sold
Right.
of each one. They already
I'm
see it.
guessing that they're monitoring customer feedback and not
And
ours. Like, because you're right. Like, what feedback could I give? Except
right.
for
If they know if it's selling or if it's not, they know if it's got reviews or ratings or if it doesn't. I mean, what are you going to tell them? I only
Yeah.
made $20. Well, they know that.
Yeah.
So
But it was $20 you didn't have before, so be
exactly.
thankful for it.
No,
I mean,
they're going, yeah, that's what you think you made.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
Well,
Well,
that whole, that's Bill, don't make me bring out the conspiracy theorist to me because I'll
I
bring
know.
it out.
Oh, I know.
Oh, because
but guys, I'm just gonna say this: 20 years ago, we didn't have this option. Was it
Oh,
like?
no.
right.
So I'm just thankful that we have the option. I'm thankful that Apple held their feet to the fire, so they had to pay more, and
Right.
we could just, we could do what we do, living the dream without having to go into an office or anything.
Right.
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. And
Yeah, I'm thankful for it too. But the conspiracy that what Bill and I was laughing about or joking about is let's be honest. Amazon through KDP or whatever can say, congratulations, Kevin, here's your $100.
Yep.
While behind the scenes they wink at each other because it was 120.
Yeah, and you can't do anything
And
about
then
it because
you can't know. You
no,
don't
the
know.
terms of conditions don't. The terms of service, terms and conditions, whatever it's called these days.
Yeah.
You cannot do anything about it. Period.
You earn what they say you earned.
Yes, and no questions asked. And if you get booted, you can't ask why or
Right.
what specifically or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So, But like you said, it's better before they had the ability to self-publish
yeah,
like that.
we don't have to go to traditional publishers anymore. No more gatekeepers.
Right.
You are your own.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to butt into y'all's class. I'm
No,
so sorry.
no. Listen, you
That's
know,
what we need. That's why we're here. See,
Yeah.
I want to get everyone in Sudowrite, all those writers, all those publisher, all those editor to come in and talk to the student and talk to the newbies. They need you.
Right. Yeah.
I need you. So
Yeah. But you got to write. Keep writing.
well, I have learned more in the last week from these meetings than probably in the previous year.
we learn a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone out there, I know there is some question. I don't know if Baby Face wants to ask his question right now or if he wants to do it in private later. But if anyone has any question for our fantastic panel that we have today, even though everybody was late, I don't know what happened.
My fault. My fault.
I didn't get an email or nothing. It's okay.
Well, I text you many times in Discord, so
Well, I it's my fault because I don't look at Discord like I should, and I'm a messenger and a regular text kind of guy, and it's hard to.
no problem.
And there's another one out there. What is another one out there? Slack or something that I was on for a while with some people. I'm sorry.
All right, so Babyface wants a lot of information to do his first book. I think it's the one who's you have 100 project in Sudowrite, right? That you have and haven't finished, but you really want to work on your first one and get it out, if I understand what's going on in the chat right now. So what would you say to someone who has a lot of project in Sudowrite and seems to be like perfectionist, and we all know what that is. We all try that. How would you go and Wordspinner says finish one. This is what I said earlier. It's hard to press the button of the first one, but you got to do it. Stop. He said the perfection thing there is the problem. Never let perfection get in the way of a good enough.
Right. Yeah, there is a such thing as good enough. There really is.
So it's
there's a lot of people that write and edit and re-edit and write and rewrite and edit, and I'm on my fourth writing, my fifth write. Look, there's good enough. Put the book out. Come on.
Yeah. So. Once the first one is out, and you'll learn. That's the only way to learn is to publish your book, learn from the feedback, from the mistake, or no mistake at all. I mean, people just like it, and your book just go all the way to Japan, and you have no freaking idea how that happened, but it's there. It's there.
Right.
So just do it. Find the one that you like enough, good enough, and publish it.
That's it. I mean, there's always going to be some errors. Come on, you can't be perfect. I can grab a Stephen King book off the shelf behind me or a Tom Clancy, and I bet you I can find an error in that book somewhere. And it's been out how many years?
Of course. Yeah, you will. I mean, on all books.
Yeah. Apostrophe somewhere, comma somewhere, whatever. The wrong there.
It says he's a bit afraid of doing the self-publishing. It seems like a lot. What can we tell about that? Just do it.
It's just like eating an elephant, right? It sounds like a lot to eat, but what do? One bite at a time.
Right. So make yourself a checklist and check them off.
Yeah.
Finish the book.
You won't miss it. Yeah.
And Kevin, wouldn't you say the best marketing is to have the second book, to get the second book going?
Yes, you do need them, and especially in the fantasy. Fantasy, if you wrote a trilogy, you need all three because people are hesitant to read it until it's done. But in any other, all the other genres, definitely the second book pushes the first one.
Always. And so on and so forth, right?
Right.
All the way down
Exactly.
the line.
Right.
And then you just build the universe. My salvage universe. I started with my original trilogy, and now there's 30 books in the universe with other writers writing in it because I've opened it. So, I mean, there's 30 books in it now. And every time a new book comes out, that first book in the entire series, numbers jump.
Yep. Same here.
Yep. Cool. Well, if there's no more question, we an hour and a half in. I want to say thank you to everyone. So anyone has anything else they want to add to this fantastic session?
I don't, but I have a suggestion all the way into the Sudowrite community on Discord.
Go ahead.
I'm looking at the events and it tells Monday and it tells the different events, right?
Mm-hmm.
How simple would it be to put right beside it 6 p.m. Eastern? And that'll be or 7 p.m. Eastern or 8 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon, whatever time each one of these events are. I'm looking at the whole thing for the week, but there's no time beside them.
The time is on top and it's supposed to be login into your time zone.
Well, it just right here, if I'm on the Sudowrite Community Pulse, and it says here are this week's events, and it has the names of them, it has the day, doesn't have a time beside it.
The Discord one.
Yeah, let me show you. I'll show you right now if you allow me to show the screen.
Hold on, I will have to.
What you want to do is you want to go to the Luma page, not the Discord. And because this is what the Luma page looks like, my friend. And that's why I don't mess with the Discord. On the Luma page, it has all the information. So you go to their Luma page. I don't know if you know how to get to it, but that's where you'll see it.
Let me see if it'll. And I just want to show her that way she can show anybody.
Well, she should tell Michael, right?
Yeah.
Manon? Can you tell Michael?
You guys, can you see this now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here it is. See, Monday, no times. Tuesday, no time.
Yeah.
So somebody may be really interested in Wednesday's class, but he doesn't get off work till 6 and he doesn't know if, you know what I mean?
What if you click on it? What happens? Where does it take you to? Clicking on, yeah.
I agree.
There
We
it shows
should
the
bug
time.
Michael about it.
Yeah, then it shows the time, but just at first glance, it's, you know what I mean? At first
Well,
glance, you want to be able to
you're
see
just
it.
you're just putting too much common sense into this, Kevin.
I
You just
know,
need to slow
I know.
yourself down a little bit, buddy.
But we may be surprised at how many more people pop into these things when they see it right off the rip.
Yeah, when they
I
see
wanna-
the announcement, we all go and click on it, but you have to go into the 9 event on top.
Right.
Yeah, and if it would tell us, just choose it's Eastern, or just choose it's Midwest, or just choose it's West Coast.
Right.
Choose a time zone, tell us what it is, and then we'll figure it out.
Right.
And I have 13 or 11 message towards you, Kevin. I can see that in your screen.
Yeah, but I don't know how to work this. Where are my messages at? At first glance,
You
where are
click
they?
on the people face. You know that little red tag there on the people face into the little.
Oh, over here?
No, on the left. Go
Top
to the
left.
left.
Go to the left.
There.
There you
There
go.
you go.
That's Manon.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't know where. I mean,
Click it.
Yeah.
Well,
that's
you
the
know,
messages.
she may be saying things to you that, you know.
Yeah, let's read the dirty stuff.
Yeah,
No,
I know.
I don't mean dirty that way. I mean
Dear
like cussing
Kevin,
you
I
out.
really liked those pictures you sent.
I didn't mean that kind of dirty, Mr. Bill. Quit it.
Lord have mercy. But anyhow, yeah. So even with Discord, see, that doesn't make any sense. How come I don't have something that says messages? Let me click it.
Lord have mercy.
You know what I mean? Is that common sense? I just want it to say messages.
Yeah, Sudowrite is not the one who did made the Discord. And Discord, I remember it was very hard for me, and I'm still
I
not
hate
very.
Discord.
Well, where's your Discord icon that shows you in little red dots that you have a message? Do you know where that is?
Mm-mm.
All right, look at here. Go back to your
I'm on
go down to your bottom to your taskbar on the very bottom.
right here.
And next to your clock, you're gonna see a little red arrow that goes up. You see that red arrow next to your microphone? I mean black arrow. Sorry, I'm colorblind.
Here.
Yeah. Click that. You see your Discord symbol right there? Should be, where the hell is it? Is that
Yeah.
it?
See.
Why don't
See, all this is super ridiculously complicated when right here in the top right it should say messages.
Yeah.
And you click it and there's
Oh.
your messages.
So
Done.
it's because you're using the browser instead of the application. That's why it's not showing up on the toolbar at the bottom.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
see,
But
yeah, this-
general Discord stuff. If you hit that top left, there's the actual Discord icon, like a little controller all the way top left, next to the left of Sudowrite and above Manon. So direct messages. If you click on that, it will give you, well, number one, all of Manon's messages, but
Yeah.
all right underneath that, all those direct messages, those
Right.
are all the people who have messaged you. And generally, if it is a conversation that you have already had, like with Manon, then their face is going to show up, or their icon or their whatever is going to
Right.
show up directly underneath that direct messages thing.
See, that is so. Look.
And if you get the app, it's even better because it puts a little red dot on the icon that's on your taskbar, and you can see when you have a message.
I see.
Something.
Well, here's the thing about all that, right? I'm a simple guy. All right. I still don't understand. To turn off, I have to go to start. What? How about a start button and off button? Why do I got to go to start to go off? Who did
That's
that?
just the wonders of
Who
Microsoft.
did that?
I think that was Bill Gates.
Yeah.
Well, that guy, I'm telling you. See what I mean? Common sense.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. You know what I mean? I also listen, I also don't know why we're driving on parkways and parking on driveways, but whatever.
I think I need a shot right about now.
Think about that. We drive on parkways, but we park on driveways.
What do we do on walkways? Just kidding.
Well, it depends on if they won't get out of your way. You got to nudge them.
You got to drive over them.
Yeah. Anyhow.
I'm getting something. Cece, you said I'm sharing my Discord right now.
Yeah.
All right. So where do you see that little arrow that we can see when someone talk to you or you have a message?
Are you on a Mac or are you on a
Mac. Yeah.
Okay. I can't help you on a Mac. Sorry. I have a Mac. I use it for my formatting for my Vellum, but otherwise I don't do anything on Mac, so I can't help you. James, you got a Mac? What you on a Mac, buddy?
I've got all the things. What's the question?
Well, she was showing that little arrow in the bottom that if you have a message inside Discord, you click on the little arrow and you can see you have a message, but I don't see that in
I'm
my
looking for the icon that we get on a taskbar at the bottom of a Windows, but
Oh, so on
I don't
your
know.
actual Mac taskbar or toolbar, not within the actual app itself, but on the toolbar with all your different apps of Discord,
Is that called the
Vellum,
dock? Is that
all
called
the
the dock?
yeah, the dock. That's what I'm thinking of. No, the Apple dock, not the Discord one. The Discord one, those are all your different Discord servers and messages and stuff. That's what that is. No, we're talking about the actual Mac interface itself, not iOS, the operating system for Mac, not Discord. You'll have a toolbar or dock with all the different apps that you have installed, like Safari or Discord or Vellum or Microsoft Word, whatever you have. It's going to have a list of all those different icons. And that's where your number of new messages stuff is going to appear.
okay, got it. And it's not
Yeah.
something I can share because that's one thing we don't see on the sharing on Zoom at all. Thank you. I know exactly where it is though. Super.
Thank you, James.
Well,
Yeah, sure thing.
some of this computer stuff, I'll just be honest with y'all. I think there's some kind of mental block with me. I was the guy way back when who couldn't set the timer on his DVD or his VCR.
Well, that technology thing is
in
probably going to
college,
keep happening.
in college, I didn't even take English. I clept all my English classes with essays. No joke. I got an A in physics with lab. I got an A in Russian history, whatever. I got a D in intro to computers.
And you write sci-fi, brother.
Yes. It's some kind of mental block. I don't know what it is. And listen, as far as an engine, tear an engine down, fix it, repair it, whatever. I can do all that. Sure.
That's
I
all
paint,
right.
I draw. Computers, whoo, I got to learn that. I don't know why. Just one of those little things.
Well, it's as an editor, I'm having a new client, which is a nurse, and she's getting all that book on hospital and all that stuff. And trust me, she's like she's correcting all these things too. And I'm just like, interesting story, everything is interesting, but she's really has these little term for hospital because she says people are actually really seriously looking at all those term when they read a book on medical. So just add on.
That's why I write science fiction 8,000 years in the future. I can make it all up and nobody can tell me it's not going to happen.
That's true.
That's why my universe started 8,000 years in the future. It was deliberate.
Cool. All right. So, for the many times I said it, I think we are at the end of this session, and I think I'm going to cook my dinner. It's 7:38 p.m. I haven't ate since lunch. Time for me to go eat. So I want to say thank you very much for all of you for being with us tonight.
Night.
I closed it.
Oh,
when I
somebody
got
closed
up.
it. We
It
hear
had
you.
been opened.
Yep, we can hear it.
We hear you. We
That
hear
one's
you. You
open.
closed it. We heard it.
That one's never been.
I'm trying to get it, but I can't.
I guess that
Okay, so
something's
closing.
working.
I'm not sure which one is talking. Which one is talking?
Yep. It was great class, guys. I'm going to head out, but
Oh yeah,
well
perfect.
done, Manon. You had
Thank
asked
you
me
for
about
showing up. Thank you
Uh-huh.
for all of you.
we can do it again in a couple of weeks. This was great.
It was great. We're going to probably put it the next one in March. One thing that I didn't say, and before I say it, I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you very much for everyone to be with me tonight, with Bill, Kevin, and Cece, John, and everyone else who was with us tonight. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now.
Woke up this morning, the sky was gray. Another storm, another endless day. Thought I was drowning in the deep, but something in me refused to sleep. Every tear, every fear made me stronger, brought me here. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battlebound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. Mountains high and valleys low. Every turn, a path I didn't know. Lost my way, but found my stride. With every setback, I grew inside. Every scar, every pain built the warrior in my veins. In my veins, I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. It's darkest and it feels like all is lost. Remember why you started, push through, no matter the cost. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. When the night is darkest and it feels like all is lost, remember why you started, push through no matter the cost. Woke this morning, the sky was clear. Every storm has brought me here. But I was drowning in the deep, but now I'm soaring, taking a leap. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end. When the night is darkest and it feels like all is lost, remember why you started, push through no matter the cost. I'm rising up, can't hold me down. Breaking through, I'm battle bound. The road is tough, but I won't bend. I'll stand tall until the end.